Hi, today we're going to do another DIY video, and this time we're going to show how to replace spark plugs on BMW E46 M3. This is a 2005 M3, and the procedure is pretty much the same for all E46 chassis, but in this case it's going to be M3. So we'll start with the tools that you're going to need for the job. So you can see it's just pretty much basic set of tools. We have various length extensions, a couple ratchets. We're going to need a 13mm socket to remove the strut bar. Then we're going to need a 10mm socket that's going to be used for removing the valve cover, not the valve cover, but the spark plug cover. Then we will need Torx head T30 to remove cabin air filter housing, the spark plug socket, which is a 5/8 or 16mm socket, just a little container to store all your screws, and obviously the spark plugs. And let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is just to remove the cabin air filter, which is located under this cover. Very simple procedure. You have 1, 2, 3 twist steps. You just twist them 90 degrees. Just pop out. Lift the cover, remove it, and then you take out your cabin air filter. It's a good time to check, make sure it's clean, and if something you can replace it as well. So underneath this cover you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 Allen T30 screws that hold this housing in place, and basically removing this housing will give you access to your valve cover dresser, to the dress cover, basically to get to the spark plugs. Before that, you also want to unclip these clips and remove the wires. Loosen them up, and that way you don't have to disconnect anything. So it's easy, just kind of pull those tabs here. I'll try to get a closer look. So you basically use your fingers to unclip those tabs. Pretty straightforward. The cover just removes, and just get those wires from this cover. Very easy. Next we're going to unbolt those 4 Allens to remove the housing. So now, once you loosen those bolts, you pretty much just pull the cover out. Yeah. And take it out. Now with the cabin filter housing out of the place, you can see we have access to the rear bolts of this spark plug covers. So the next thing we're going to take out is for the strut bar. 2 30mm bolts on each side, just your regular wrench under the bolts. Now we're going to do the other side. And just lift the bar out and put it aside. So next thing to do is to disconnect this breather hose. Basically just press on both sides of the tabs and pull it up. Really straightforward. And then this module you can just kind of unclip here, and that gives us a little more room for our cover to move around. Now we're going to unbolt the 6 bolts that hold the cover in place, and then take it out. We're going to use our 10mm socket to do that. Just kind of loosen them up, and then we'll go from there. A couple of them are a little tight. I want to take this cover off. Bring the extension to get to this one, and you should be able to get to this one without the extension as well. Just kind of unbolt them by hand. Tricky. The cover is a little bit on the way, so I just take the socket without the extension, and you can get to the bolt. It only needs a few turns to unbolt. All right. Okay, with all 6 bolts removed, just open the oil filler cap, and the whole thing just should come up. All right, and just set it aside. Also, I'd like to put the oil cap back just in case, so we don't drop anything inside. So under the cover you can see our ignition coils, 6 of them, and under the coils obviously you have your spark plugs. Also you have this little bracket that holds your what looks like O2 sensor connectors, and there are 2 little tabs here. What you can do to make your job a little easier is to press those little 2 tabs together and lift this little bracket up and kind of set it a little bit aside here. That way you have easier access to your coils. This should be good. And to to disconnect the coils from its connectors, it's pretty straightforward. You see those little kind of handles. All you do is lift it up, and that disconnects the wire. Again, up, and the wire goes out. Just do the same thing for all 6 of them, and you're ready to go. Okay. What I'd like to do is do one spark plug at a time. Just that way you don't have to number the coils, because typically I don't know if it's necessary, but I like to put each coil in the same location, so to not number them, just do one at a time. To pull the coil out, just kind of lift it up. Sometimes they get stuck a little bit, but basically this is your coil, and let's do the spark plug. So just to give you guys a little close up, your coil, this is what you lift to disconnect the wire, and your spark plug is right in there. Okay, so we'll start removing first spark plug. Basically I got my spark plug socket, extension, and the range. Just seat your spark plug socket on the spark plug, make sure it's snug, and start unbolting it. This car has 73,000 miles, and I just recently bought this car, so I have no idea if the previous owner replaced the spark plugs or if they ever were replaced. So we'll take a look at the spark plug. Yeah, it looks like spark plugs were not replaced. So you can, I'm not sure if you can see very well here, but this spark plug is worn out. I don't think camera can focus very well on this, but basically you can see the electrodes here are worn out, and the center electrode is also a little worn out here. Okay. So here's the old spark plug. This is shiny new spark plug. BMW recommends 2 different types of spark plugs. One is NGK and one's Bosch. I'm going with the original NGKs. The model is DCPR8EKP, so I'm replacing with the same style spark plug. So basically take your spark plug socket, put your new spark plug in, make sure it's locked, and carefully screw it back into the housing here. So now this is the time to use your torque wrench. The recommended torque is 22 foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench set. We'll just tighten the spark plug down. So, you know this is torqued. Now we're going to put the coil back on, and these coils are indexed. BMW wants you to put them a certain way. So there is that little little triangular area which goes in the triangular area on your head, on your valve cover. You basically cannot miss it, so just place it back in the tube, press it down. You're going to feel it kind of snaps into place. Put the electrical connector back on, lock it, and you're done. Now we're just going to proceed with the rest of the spark plugs, the other 5. Also, it's a good idea to inspect the hole near the spark plug. Make sure you don't have any oil inside. If you do have any oil, it means it's time to replace the valve cover gasket. Basically, it's a gasket that goes around and around each spark plug opening, so you're going to have to unscrew the valve cover to replace that. Looks like mine is fine, no oil. And the last one. Our torque wrench. Remember, never over tighten those. Install the coil pack or coil. It goes in all the way in, and snaps, and electrical connector. And all 6 are changed. So now basically it's a reverse procedure. Put that little wire holder organizer bracket back, just align it and clip it in place. Okay, it's in place. Now we're going to get our cover back and start reassembling. Since you're in that area, it's a good idea to clean your valve cover. Make sure it's nice and clean. The way your engine bay is going to look a lot nicer. So now we're ready to put the cover back on. Just open the oil cap again and just install the cover. Pretty straightforward. No tricks involved, nothing, just make sure it's seated fully. Again, close the oil cap right away so nothing falls in the engine, and snap the breather hose back Let's put this unit back and just snap it in place. Make sure it's seated everywhere. No wires pinch, so everything looks good. Just reinstall 6 bolts and it should be golden. Alright, so it's time to put the cabin air filter housing again. Since you have it out and it's easy, make sure you clean everything so it's nice and clean. So should be going right back. So make sure all the wires are not pinched. Gasket in place. There we go. Looks like it's in place. Alright, gasket here, gasket there. This looks to be all the way in. Just double checking. Yep. So we're gonna take our Torx bolts, put them back, and just you can start them by hand. Okay. Next, our cabin filter goes with the foam, all foam up. Oops, sorry. This way. Alright, just kind of right in there. Now we're gonna get the cover, put it back on again, clean the cover up, and just easy. In place, press, 90-degree turn, press 90 degrees. Alright, done with the cover. Next, we'll arrange the wires, put them back. Out of the way. It's positive wire. Okay, now the small wire. And this big little wire. Alright, and we'll put the cover back on right now. Okay, so we cleaned this little cover as well. Again, there are small 3 tabs on the bottom. 3 on the top. Start with the bottom. Kind of line them there. There we go. And snap it in place. Alright. Just check, make sure they're all snapped into place. Alright, so that's done. And now the strut bar. So the bar goes on top, place it, and use the 13 millimeter nuts to put it back in place. So something to mention real quick. I use those NGK's OEM spark plugs. Don't get them at the dealership. They make a little profit on those. And what kind of profit? It's 100% profit. You can get them at Advanced Auto Parts. They cost $13 a piece, where BMW charge you $26 a piece. So they just double the price. Again, here's the part number. I'll list it in a video as well, and it's NGK laser platinum spark plugs. Comment the video, like the video. Alright, thank you very much and good luck.